Good morning, everyone. Thank you for logging into today's webinar session. My name is Angela from Blazing.com, and I'll be your host today, along with Alicia from the Blaze Hotel Association. Today's topic of discussion is social media marketing done by Michael Fuller, who is the founder and marketing director of Ask and Believe. Michael is currently the digital marketing consultant for companies in Belize that distribute services in the tourism industry, study abroad, and beverage industry. Before we get into today's presentation, I'd like to pass it on to Alicia for a name membership announcement.
Hi, good morning, everyone. I want to thank you all for registering for this morning's webinar. Just a little update that the theme for next blog submission is Eat Like a Local, Top Foods to Try in Belize. So now I would like to welcome Mr. Michael Fuller as he presents on social media marketing.
Hi, good morning, everybody. Thank you, BHA and Blazing, for having me for this webinar. I'm really excited to talk to you all about social media marketing today. But to get into it real quick, just to give you a brief introduction of what Ask and Belize is about. We're a marketing and digital agency that we work with different clients across the country and in other parts of the world. We try to get clients who are starting up with the social media game and then really giving them information so that they can really get into that game really well. ASK stands for Analysis, Sustainability, and Knowledge. Analysis really speaks to when we're getting a client, we want to analyze everything that's going on with that business so that we get the right amount of information so that we can market them properly. And then we find sustainable ways in how to promote their business online so that they're reaching the audiences really well. And then finally providing the utmost knowledge to these customers so that they know what these businesses are about. Ask and Believe is the play on what we use for Ask and Believe because we wanted our clients, when they come to us, to ask us all the questions in the world about how to get their business out there and mainstreaming their business, and then finally having them believe in their own business so that their customers believe in them as well. We work for really great clients such as Carl H. Menzies, Angel Falls Belize, King Louis, just to name a few. And we are trying to promote them in a digital way. Also, we do a lot of their operations on site and so forth for the different companies that we work for. So to finally get into what the topic for today is, we have different polls that are going on. So please do click those answers so that we get that data from you at the end of this presentation. But today's topic is really about social media. If you really think about social media and how it started, social media started through email marketing. It was a form of how to get messaging out there about your company, about your services, about your products to different clients on an online platform. So email marketing was really the first way how social media started. It's still a really huge component to marketing strategies today, so it should not be forgotten. But really, when we think about social media in today's world, we think about the bigger names in the social media game, such as Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, LinkedIn, and so forth. While these applications are really, really great, we can't forget about the programs and the applications that were there before because they still reach target markets that the other apps they don't necessarily meet. Social media marketing is really getting out your information to the masses in the digital world. There are about 3.2 billion users worldwide today who are using social media. They have an attention span of about 6 to 8 seconds. So what that really means, if you were at the B2B's Marketing Summit last week, thumb power is really, really key into getting people to learn about your business, to want to stop on your posts and then find out more information about you. So you really only have 6 to 8 seconds to get folks' attention out there. There are about 90.4 users who are millennials, 77.5 who are Generation X, and 48.2 who are baby boomers. So what that's saying is, as much as the word millennials might seem like a negative word, those are the people who are really looking at social media platforms and looking for something that attracts them. So you want to reach out to all of these folks in the different platforms that exist with that 6 to 8 second attention span. They're really on social media every day on average for about 2.2 hours. So if you really look at that, there's 3.2 billion people online about 2.2 hours every day with a 6 to 8 attention span to grab their attention. That means your content needs to really look attractive, be informative, and showcasing your business in the best light that can possibly be showcased. Looking at your competition is really, really a great way in getting that information so that you can try to not necessarily mimic them, but learn what your competitions are doing so that when you're reaching that target market who are looking at your competition's work, you can really grab their attention as well. Here are two really great examples of good social media marketing that can be used through many different platforms, from email marketing to one of the major players in the game. On the left, we have a promotion going on for the usage of GoPros at Angel Falls Police. So you see at the very beginning, you see a very vivid image of someone ziplining. There are bold text on there, so you immediately know this is about GoPros. Action is in bold orange color, so that's grabbing your attention. And it really speaks to users who want to get that experience, to experience that thrill, but also capture their own memories. On the right-hand side, you'll see another promotion for Angel Falls Police who speaks to those who want to do birding. It's much more of a relaxed type of image. The user is on her binoculars looking at one of the hummingbirds that you can find on property. And so that speaks to them. But when you're doing social media posts, for example, and you're trying to use these different platforms, one of these advertisements will work more than the other one. On your left-hand side, you'll notice that there's a lot more text going on this image. On applications such as Facebook, for example, you'll note that when you try to boost an ad like this, Facebook will send you a little error message and say, guess what? There's too many texts on this. I can't publish it to as much people as you'd like. So this, for example, might work for email marketing, or just a simple email blast, or a little message to a personalized message to different users who are interested in that type of promotion. Whereas on your right-hand side, rather, the text is more centered towards one area. So I'm really only taking about 20% of that space that Facebook really allows me. So when I do boost that ad, I'm getting much more people who will see it. Organic reach might work more for the left-hand side, whereas paid reach might work much more for the right-hand side. There are many different platforms that you can use for social media. These platforms literally range from every letter in the alphabet and every combination of those letters. But there are bigger games out there. There are bigger players out there, such as Facebook again, Snapchat, Twitter, and whatnot. However, these other applications that are not so popular might have tools in them that you can really use to either find out who your target markets are, to do specific email blasts, and they're not necessarily really in the game, but they still can reach a lot of people for you. It's not necessarily about all of these apps and trying to be on every single platform out there, because you really just don't have time to do that. But using these applications are a must, especially when you're trying to find out who your target markets are and then trying to reach them with the information that you're putting out there. Another really key component on deciding what social media platform really works for your business is trying to find out and doing testing with different channels out there. But you want to keep that messaging that you're putting through these different channels as consistent as possible. What that means is these channels might require that you change up the image a little bit or have a less amount of characters in your caption, but the messaging needs to remain the same. If I'm a hotel, for example, and I want to do a promotion for maybe 3 nights stay and 1 night free, I want to publish that through all the platforms that I'm on. I don't want to have different types of messaging going on with that promotion on the different platforms. So I might need to edit a picture here and there or lessen the text, but realizing who your target markets are, and we'll get into that a little bit later, is really key on knowing how to position that kind of messaging out there properly. Here's a quick little video so that you can see what really good content looks like. So that video that you just saw really speaks to getting really good content and then hammering it into one little advertisement that you can publish online. Now you can spend hours on doing edits on this, or you can really use applications that are out there that makes your work so much easier, that you can just put together some text, put together some transitions, as long as you have the content. From that video that you just saw, it took way more time getting the content, being on that island, a King Louis Island resort, for about 3 days, just capturing content one after the other so that we can put together something. And that was with the minimal amount of time to do edits on the videos, lighting, and all of that stuff, just so that we can create a quick little promo for this presentation. So finding out what the right platform for your business really takes practice. It takes a lot of time and investment. You want to really set time apart so that you can really think about who you're trying to target with these platforms that you're using. So that might take a simple brainstorming session where let's say, for example, you're a shoe company and you want to reach a certain demographic. That might mean, okay, I'm going to list out what are all the benefits about my shoes that I'm selling to people. What's my brand story that's going with the product that I'm trying to sell? Who do I think my target market is? Are they maybe between 18 years old to about 35 years old? What are their interests? Where are these people shopping at right now? And really putting that time into finding out who your target markets are. This might not necessarily be your target market, but it's really good to brainstorm on who you think these people are that will look at your products. And also putting into your teams who are doing your content management or your social media management, making sure that they're really consistent with their messaging and really passionate about what they're trying to publish out there, because the more that your team feels comfortable about what they're publishing, the more your audience will feel like this is really authentic material. Now, as you may have noticed, I'm really speeding through this presentation, but as you may have noticed, this type of stuff really takes a lot of time. So your team might be just yourself. If you're a startup, you might have a team set aside, but you really want to give them maybe time every week where you all can sit down, or yourself can just sit down, take a couple hours off, and really brainstorm these types of ideas. The ultimate guide to creating the perfect social media strategy really is important for businesses, whether it's you're creating a 1-month strategy or a 5-year strategy. It's something that you need to put this time again into so that you know what you're trying to market out there. The number one rule that when we take on a client, we always try to tell them is, this is really not about you. That might seem really shocking because this is your business. You've put a lot of money and investment into this, and you want to try to get as much return as possible. So it's really good that you can separate that you are not necessarily your own customer. It's good to jot down points on what you think might be attractive to yourself as selling points about your products or services or business, but also to find out what your customers might be like. Another rule to creating really great social media strategies is to stay active on social media platforms. As a new business, you might start off where you're on 3 different platforms and you want to post on each of those platforms at least 3 times for the week. That's a really smart thing to do instead of rushing into it and wanting to post as much as possible quickly so people know about your business. I know when a business is starting up, they just want to get information out there, and that's totally fine, but it's good to capture all of that content and saving it so that you're doing posts and staying active on social media for a longer period of time. If I'm a business and I'm doing social media and I'm active every day of the week, I'm posting at least 2 times a week, and I'm getting information out there, and then let's say 3 weeks down the road, I'm posting maybe once or twice for the week, guess what? You're losing customers when you're doing that. And that's because the customers who have taken that 6 to 8 seconds to stop on your stuff, they're already interested in what you're doing, so they want to know what's going on constantly. And if you're posting a lot and then posting less afterwards, you're losing those customers because they're not seeing your information anymore. Finally, when creating good social media strategies, you need to have a lot of content. I know for a lot of clients, you might have content that your suppliers might provide to you, which is super great. Try to get as much as that as possible. Hammer your suppliers to really get you that content as quickly as possible so that you can do your social media properly. But if you need to create content, do so. create content on maybe the simplest of things that are about your business or your property. Something as simple as maybe a thank you card in the room that says, thank you for visiting, personalize it with the person's name because you already have their information in your reservations anyway. Thank you for visiting, Karen. We hope you enjoy your stay. Feel free to enjoy the free bottle of water that's in the room. Stuff like that, that's what you need to capture with about your business so that you're publishing that. Your folks that are looking at your social media activity, they don't always want to see a promotion or a discount or a sale. They'll get bored of that really quickly. They want to become a part of your family, your friends, and learn more about your business. So capture the simpler things about your business and showcase that on social media. Here's another quick video about creating good content. So with that piece of content that you just saw, we created for Angel Falls Belize a entire campaign on Instagram. This was for a summer challenge that we posted. We're only running that for about 2 weeks. But the summer challenge is trying to capture attention to let you know what the promotion is about. On the post itself, it was a quick little video of someone ziplining with a little bit of information about how to find more information. On the caption itself speaks about the competition and the rules and regulations. And then we followed up with more information through our Insta stories, which I'll have that video play now.
Want to experience the best extreme adventures in the entire country? Hi, my name is Michael Fuller from Angel Falls, Belize. We have the fastest, highest, and longest zipline in the entire country on over 200 acres of pristine jungle property with the best photo and video opportunities out there. Check us out with the link in our bio to learn about our Belizean Summer Special and stay tuned for a summer challenge.
So along with that Insta Live story, we posted the first post on our Instagram feed, on our profile page, and then we did an Insta Live directly after that where we spoke about the property. We made it a little bit more personal, where we're trying to engage people, let them know about what the property is. I introduced myself so that they're getting that connection, that one-on-one feeling like they're part of the promotion and the company itself. And then we followed up with 2 more Insta stories, which are these images that are showing on the screen right now, so that we're creating this entire 360 campaign just on Instagram. I'm looking at the statistics right now on my phone for this. We boosted this post for $20 US and ran it for 3 days so far. It's being run for a total of 4 days. And so far we've had 18,000 unique reaches on this. That's every person who is seeing the promotion for the first time. We've reached about 40,000 people in impressions. So impressions and reach, we'll speak about that a little bit later. It has over 100 followers from this promotion that came to our page. So 100 new followers to our page, 169 likes, 39 comments, and 15 bookmarks. So that's really, really good numbers. And the only amount of money that we spent on this promotion so far, out of that $20, is only $7 US. So this promotion is really reaching a lot of people. It's really engaging. There are follow-ups. It's just not one post with too many texts on it that I'm going to boost for $50 and expect that it's going to reach everyone. You need to follow up and create these types of engaging campaigns on your social media platforms to reach a lot of people. And that's really the key in creating good content. Following up with the different types of material that you can use through these platforms to publish your information out there. Content creation is one of my specialties at Ask and Belize. We try to capture content in all sorts of ways with the equipment that we have. Sometimes you need to kind of position and pose and stage these types of content that you want to create. But what your users are really looking for are authentic messaging that you're publishing out there. So again, they want to see that silly little thing that you're putting in the room, or a silly little activity that you might have going on. It seems silly to you, but for them it's super important, and that will cause them to really stop on your page, find out more, and then look at your promotions. So capturing that type of content, whatever it is really important, and having that bank and that database of content so they can always pull from it and create new content. Size really matters when it comes to creating content, and that's because you don't want to duplicate creating content. For example, I might be on the go and I only have my camera, for example, my phone camera on me or a GoPro. I can capture something really quick and easy. It might be of just a 360 video of my rooms that I'm selling. But if I want to showcase that same type of material, let's say on a bigger screen or on a billboard, guess what? I might need to go back again, spend more time and invest more time in creating the exact same content. So using equipment or hiring marketing agencies or freelancers to capture this content for you at a higher quality is super important, because you want to be able to use that one-time capture and post it through all of your platforms for your marketing strategy, whether it's social media or guerrilla marketing or whatever that you want to publish that type of material on, so you're not creating it over and over again. And when you're creating content over and over again, it might not necessarily have the same feel as when you try to create it the first time. Another key component of creating good content is knowing your business properly. When we take on clients, for example, they may not necessarily know what's going on or what they need to do to mainstream their products and services. And so really sitting down with them and trying to figure out what are the real ins and outs about the business is really important, so that your content creator, your social media team, they know what's going on. The moment they go into this blindly, that's the moment you're going to create aimlessly. You're going to create content that's aimless and won't reach anyone for that matter. Finally, when creating good content, I always go back and to my dad, and I'm always like, Dad, I need new equipment, right? And that is really good for creating good content. But you might be a business that's saying, hey, I need a drone shot of my entire property, but I'm only going to use this once. I don't want to invest into a $2,000 drone. That's where marketing agents and freelancers come in, so that they who already have this equipment, you can hire them for a fraction of the cost of what it would have been to purchase the equipment yourself, and then they'll produce the content for you. Or if you think that it's equipment that you'll be using over and over for your own team that you have there, or for yourself to capture the content yourself, then invest in those types of equipment, because they really come in handy. Your insights are really important when it comes to knowing who your target markets are. Insights are really the data that you can collect from the different social media platforms or from external third-party platforms, so that you're in the know of who is looking at your stuff. This will help you in how to gauge your return of investment, and how to really change up your material so that you're reaching the right type of people. On Facebook, Instagram, like I just showed you with the insights that we got from just that one post, you can get this information for free from these different platforms. I will give you a general idea, some of them more extensive, on who you should be targeting or who's looking at your stuff. You can also invest in a lot of different platforms and different programs that will provide you information. We at Ask use Hootsuite and Sprout Social, and they really give us, maybe when we're looking at one platform, for example, and we want to know information from 2016 up to today. These platforms, while you have to pay for them, they'll provide you with information from 2016 up to today to know, okay, this has been the influx of my followers. These are the people who are really looking at my content. And so I can pull from that type of information and create new content that will reach that type of person. This will help you to reach more people. Your reach, again, is the unique views that your posts are reaching to people, whereas your impressions are how many times that material is being pushed out there. Both are really key information to learn about when you're trying to get your insights. Your reach are, again, your unique, so that will show you how many people your information is being reached to. So from that Angel Falls post, that was about 18,000 unique reaches, whereas your impressions, that was more. Your impressions normal will be more than your reach because this is how many times it's being published out there. And this is really important because if I only have 6 to 8 seconds to grab someone's attention, guess what? The first time they're scrolling past my post, they might not necessarily have seen it because they're just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. So impressions, what your metrics are trying to do for you, what your boosts are trying to do for you is trying to publish that information out there a second or a third time so that it's reaching that same person that you're trying to target. And all of this will help you to learn about the money that you're pumping in there so that you're getting the utmost in your returns for the investment that you pumped into these social media platforms. Another key component to social media marketing is time management. I have seen a lot of times where people in the land of social media or others, they believe that, okay, a flyer can be created in a matter of minutes. And while this is true in today's day and age, if you want to get really good content out there, it's not going to take you just a 5 minute on a social media app that has that has templates on it already. You really need to know what you're doing. So this kind of information that you're trying to push out there really takes time. We try to steer away from having our clients throw stuff at us at the very last minute. What I mean by that is, while there might be a really great idea that's out there, if we have a plan set in place already, we're creating content for this plan that we have set in place. Creating that type of content already is taking up a lot of the time of the content manager and the social media folks. Throwing something new at them that has nothing to do with what they're working with right now can throw them off. We're humans at the end of the day. And so while that promotion might be something you want to implement, it's really good to really kind of jot all of these really great ideas down and then presenting them at the time of your meeting with your entire team and then going through it to see where that fits into your entire universe for your social media plan. Finally, you want to really look at monitoring your results really keenly so that when you have all of that information from your insights, all of that data, you can make changes. Maybe you're doing several boosted ads where you're targeting a specific market and it's really not working out for you. So as much as you might have it in your mind that this is my target market, this is my target market, if it's not working for you on social media, it's time to switch it up. It's time to maybe target a different age group or a different type of gender or a different interest that's out there. And doing a lot of tests will help you better with your time management on knowing how to target people better and saving time on content creation. The last part of really good social media marketing strategy is budgeting. Nothing really good in this life is free. I know that's borne out, but really it's the truth. A lot of when it comes to budgeting or any portion of this presentation really takes a lot of time and investment to sit down and find out what's really working for you. So in the beginning, if I know I have a specific budget for boosted ads, but I'm not necessarily sure who my target market is, I might want to spend a portion of that budget to do test ads. So what that means is, as a hotelier, for example, I want to know what type of person is really attracted to come and stay on an island resort in the middle of nowhere. And so I'm going to create specific ads surrounding that, maybe with different types of information. I'm going to publish that on my different platforms, and I'm maybe going to boost them for $1 each or $2 US each. What that information will do for me is let me know in small quantities who I should be reaching. So I'll post this one ad through my different platforms. I'll post it several times and I'll put $1 for it each. But every time I post this ad for my testing, I'm going to change up the target a little bit more for the same $2. If I've noticed out of my testing, hey, this worked for those millennials who are interested in summer vibes as a hashtag, then I need to take that information now and then boost that specific ad targeted to those specific people for a little bit more money. So I'm probably going to put that for $20 more and run that ad for about 2 weeks. So that money is really spent well in capturing that specific target market. Again, the answer to all of this really takes a lot of practice and time. and you need to be in the know of how much you're really willing to spend. There are companies out there who have billion-dollar budgets, and they spend crazy amount of money on doing testing and publishing boosted ads and paid ads out there. Your company might not necessarily be that, but you do want to reserve some of that money aside, again, so that when you've done your testing and paid for that testing, you can use the balance of your budget to do proper social media ads that will reach the masses. Finally, to get into the closure of this presentation, there are several different trends that we like to use at Ask and Lease, and these are really the trends from our research that we found that are most beneficial to users on social media platforms for 2019. One of the big things that everyone's doing is live videos. Again, if you were at the B2B Marketing Summit, Kristen really gave a really good presentation on how you can do live videos properly. And she basically told everyone that you need to come up with a question that you want to try to send out to people and ask them, introducing yourself, giving 3 good points about the question that you asked, and then finally closing with a call to action. That's really good information on how to create a live video. And now it might take a lot of practice because you might not necessarily want to be in front of the camera. But doing a live video on something short and sweet about your business is really going to capture your audience much more than just a regular post that's about a promotion. Also, a lot of companies fail when it comes to social media messaging. And I've seen a lot of the clients that we've taken on where there's folks who have engaged with them from maybe 5 years down the road and no one has messaged them back up to today. That's really bad, because if someone has taken out of that 6 to 8 second attention span to stop on your post and engage with you either through a like or a comment or a direct message, they're taking time to learn more about your business and your promotion and your services. You need to answer them. You don't want to allow this to stay for too long because you've lost that customer if you're not answering them right away. And so that might take one specific person on your team to deal with that. But it's really important to, even if it's just a comment that said, thank you, or if it's a comment that said, this is really cool material that you're posting on here, respond to those people and let them know, hey, we appreciate your comment. We do hope you come back and learn more about our business. Here's an offer. There's so many means and ways that you can get their attention even more to lead to a sale when you're messaging and engaging with them back if they've taken the time to do that with you. Increasing your budget for your paid advertisement is also a really big trend for 2019. A lot of these platforms have gotten smart and they need you to, or they want you really to start paying for your ads to reach much more people. And so you really need to, again, do that testing, set aside a budget that you'll just do paid ads with so that you're reaching a lot more people. Social media commerce is another great trend for 2019, and that's using these tools that are on these social media platforms to promote specific offers or promos that are specific to those tools. On Facebook, for example, if I'm doing a regular post about an offer, let's say that I'm selling handbags and I'm having a pop-up shop, or I am having a discount on last season's handbags. If I'm doing a regular post on that, as much as it might be attractive and look good and there's not a lot of text and your caption is really great and you've targeted the right amount of people, that post will go further and further and further down your timeline as you're creating more content on your page. If you use Facebook's social commerce tool, which is their offers tab, and you're putting that offer on that specific tab, when someone goes to your page and they want to know about your promos and your offers, they will click on that tab first to see that entire list rather than having to scroll and scroll and scroll through your timeline, or their timeline rather, to find what you're trying to sell to them. So using those tools is really important. Increase personalization on your social media pages. That speaks to making sure that your content is super fresh, that your information is up to date. If you've changed a number, if you've changed address, make sure that you're updating those information as frequently as possible, making sure that you're changing your cover page or your display picture to go with the theme of what you're trying to promote. Just making sure that your information is up to date and fresh looking so that your folks that are looking at your audience that are looking at your social media pages, they are staying up to date with what's going on and they feel good about it because your content is super fresh for them. And finally, cracking down on fake news. Now, I might have a promotion that's going on, and I want to send that out to X amount of people through the different platforms and email blasts. But then I'm going to, in that same light, talk about something that really has nothing to do with my promotion. Um, your audience, they don't want to see that type of information. They want to know as much as possible about what your business is about, and your promotions, but they really don't want to learn about anything else that doesn't have to do with your business. You might have important information like accolades that you want to publish up, or something that's happening in the news when it comes to Belize. That information is really great. It can be published on your blogs and other platforms. But when it comes to social media marketing, you want to stay fresh and up to date with what's actually happening with your business, because again, you only have that really short attention span to grab someone's attention. Our top 5 favorite programs and applications that we like to use at Ask and Belize includes Over. Here's a quick little video to show you how that works. So what you saw there was just how easy this application works. It is a paid ad. All of these applications, they have free versions, but investing into the paid versions allows you to use a lot more tools, and there are insight tools, for example, so that you're capturing this type of data. But Over is a really great app that you can use to create fast content. Let's say I'm on the go and your employer is telling you, okay, I need this promotion now right away, and there's just no ifs and buts around it. You can use an app like Over to create something really quick for them that's attractive, that has so many tools on there that you can either put your logo on, or change the way or the layout that something looks, or adding gradients to your images. It's really, really great, and there's so much text that you can load yourself on there. Let's say that your brand has a specific font that it needs to use. It's really user friendly. Another application that we like to use is Snapseed. So again, when I'm on the go and I'm using my GoPro and I'm on the zip line and I really want to capture this, but I want to send it out and I'm Insta Live right away, that image can be edited on Snapseed. So I can change the lighting, I can change the perspective, I can add a blur in the background if I don't want certain stuff to show. And that specific application is completely free to use, but it's really good in editing your photos, and I believe it's able to do some lighting effects on videos as well. Hootsuite is what we use along with Social, again, when we're wanting to schedule out our posts and finding out about data. At Ask and Believe, we take Saturdays, for example, where we're all sitting down together, we're having coffee and snacks, and we're talking about our week, and then we go into our marketing plans for these different companies that we work for, and we're sitting down and we're creating as much content and captions and doing our social media posts that we can schedule out right away. We schedule out posts for a lot of our clients weeks to months in advance. And what that does, it really helps us to have more time to go out there and capture more content, to do research about what the different trends are, because a lot with social media marketing is always keeping up to date with what the trends are. So we have a lot more time to find out that information when we've used Hootsuite or Sports Social to schedule our posts out. Asana and Zoho, that helps us when we want to send specific tasks to one another in our team. If we want to schedule out something on a calendar or schedule out a meeting, we use these applications as well. This presentation, for example, was made through Zoho. So there's several different tools. I mean, these programs, they all have hundreds upon hundreds of different tools that you can take advantage of, especially when you've bought the paid versions of these, that you can implement into your entire social media and marketing strategy. Finally, Ask and Believe again is about analyzing what our clients' needs are, trying to mainstream what they're doing in a sustainable way, and then providing that knowledge to the consumer so that everyone is well-rounded in the know of what's going on with the business, what the products and services are, and getting sales at the end of the day, because that's what social media marketing is all about, trying to generate a sale. I thank you all for this opportunity to talk to you all about social media marketing. Before I close, I want to definitely showcase our offer that we have for y'all. You can click the offer link that's provided in this webinar. But we're giving away a free 30-minute consultation over the phone about your business so that we can learn about what's going on, what you want to mainstream about your business, what you need help with. We're also offering 10 to 20% off any type of marketing strategy packages that we have, whether it's for a 1 month or a 5-year plan. This again will be extremely detailed. We will take the time to find out everything about your business, who your target markets are, what you should be doing, who you should be attracting, what type of content that you need to be producing, and then providing you with that for a long-term strategy so that you can start implementing that with your team. And then finally, we will do a complete review of either your website or any of your social media platforms so that we can tell you, okay, hey, you may want to change this up for your website. You might want to get mobile friendly because a lot of websites aren't mobile friendly. You might have too much information that's just clickbait on your profiles that you need to remove so that the information, again, is super easily and user-friendly for your users to get to that information right away. This offer lasts up to August 31st of this year, so we do hope that you all take advantage of it. And thank you again for this presentation.
Thank you, Michael, for that wonderful presentation. Feel free to click the offer on your right-hand side if you're interested. As for the polls that I published, here are the results. So the first question that was asked was, do you use email marketing to aid in your social media efforts? 100% said yes.
Awesome.
So that is great.
Yeah, that's
Then
really
we have how many channels do you use for social media marketing? 50% said 1 to 3 channels, 25% said 3 to 6 channels, and then the other 25% said 7 plus channels.
Wow.
Oh,
So
wow. That's good.
yeah,
That's a
people
lot.
are using
Mhm.
people are using a lot of social media channels for marketing. The next question is, do you use any tools for collecting data from social media? 50% said yes, and 50% said no.
Wow.
Ah,
Okay. Start
okay.
And
using
then,
information to grab your data. That's super important. You want to know who you're
yes,
Mhm.
trying to market. So the 50% who's not using those applications or platforms, again, you don't have to pay for the paid versions. You can use the ones that are already available to you and really get that information.
So, and then the last one is, how extensive is your social media marketing plan? 67% of the attendees said that they plan as they go along, while 33% said they plan for a 1 month time period.
Okay.
Interesting.
No further than after the 1 month, huh?
No.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. A lot more planning, people.
Yeah, so like I said earlier, the presentation was very helpful. Thank you for that, Michael. And I
Yes,
do
Absolutely.
hope
thank
that
you.
everyone watching found the information helpful as well. Before we close off, we do have other reminders that I will pass it on to Alicia for.
Yes, so just to remind everyone, the topic for next month's webinar is the fundamentals of graphic design. So that will be held on August the 30th at our same time at 10 a.m.
Okay, and then I also want to remind everyone who has blogs that you like to contribute to our blog site or BHA's blog site, feel free to email Alicia and send them so we can add them to the blog, or you can just click this offer that I'm going to publish to just submit your blog directly. All right,
All right, thank you,
do
everyone.
we have any other questions?
Let's see.
I guess no questions so far.
Okay, if anyone has a question that they just want to maybe send off to me, they can email me at askandbelize@gmail.com or reach out to our social media page. And I'm sure that if they do send to any of you, Angela or Alicia, please do send that over so that I can answer them.
Okay, no problem at all.
Okay, great.
And let's be reminded of the webinar for next month, which is the fundamentals of graphic design, and then your blog contribution for the BHA blog site. Oh,
Okay,
Sherry has a
yes,
question.
we have one question from Sherry.
Awesome.
Everyone watching will be receiving a copy of the presentation, right, Alicia?
Yes, they will. And the presentation will also be uploaded on your member-only section of the website. So you can just log in, and on their webinar, you will see all our previous webinars that we have done.
Okay.
Okay.
So Sherry asked,
Uh-huh.
what tools do you use for video editing?
We use several different tools. We use Final Cut Pro. That is for Mac users only. When it comes to just if we have a bigger budget and if we have a more time to spend on really editing a video, we use Adobe Premiere and Adobe After Effects to do video editing. I believe we forgot to show one video on this when it came to bigger budgets. But I can also provide that link on our social media page afterwards. But yes, Final Cut Pro, Adobe Premiere, Adobe After Effects. We also use another program on our phones. We can use something like Promo. That's another paid app that you can use. You can edit videos on the Over app. We also use Filmora. I mean, there's just an entire list that goes on and on and on, really, when it comes to video editing. It really, when you're trying to choose one of these programs, it really, you need to take into account how much time you have to invest in really doing a proper video edit, and who's going to invest in the time to learn about the program ins and outs so that you're not making a mistake or not getting frustrated when editing your videos.
Okay, then.
Okay, thank you, Michael. And I guess if the viewers have maybe a couple minutes, we can show the video that we didn't get to publish earlier.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay, so here is the video. I hope everyone enjoys.
Awesome.
Wow, that video was super cool.
It
Yeah.
was. Michael,
Yeah,
question. What
sure.
would be the cost if someone would want to create a content like that, and the time it would be, and also editing it?
I don't have an answer for that. I'm kidding. Something
Okay.
like that as compared to, so I just want to get into a quick comparison and then I'll answer your question.
Okay.
But the first video that we showed, that was with a really tiny budget. That was only about $350 billion. And that's because we took our own time to go out there and capture the content from that island. We got overnight stay comp, for example. We got the transportation comp, for example. But that was really a small budget, but we still tried to capture really good content from it, you know. And what we did out there, because we captured so much content, now we have an entirely huge database that we can always pull material from to do social media posts. So it's worth it at the end of the day for both us and for the client. The second video that you saw that had no budget at all, that was just a live video. That's just me getting behind my camera and doing something really quick on my own time. And then finally, this video that was shown just now, this was about a $5,000 to $6,000 budget, and we need to take into account several different things when it comes to creating this type of content. We need to take into account hiring models, getting to the location, so that's transportation, maybe doing an overnight stay. We need to think about the equipment that will be used, the time that will be taken to capture all of this content, who are the tour guides. I mean, it can go on and on again about the different components to create content like this. But what's great in that investment and spending that $5,000 to $6,000 is that I can publish this great quality content on so many different platforms. We've sent this video, for example, to big names like BuzzFeed, JetSetter, Unilad, and they will post it on their blogs, you know, so that it's reaching an entirely different target market than we're trying to cater to. We can publish this on television because it's that great quality. We can also grab snippets from this one video and use it for social media marketing. So at the end of the day, it might seem like a one-time huge investment, but I can use it for so many different uses that will get me back that return immediately.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. You have to think long term because investing
Mhm.
that much money is at the moment, but that video can be up in the internet for like forever, basically.
Well,
Mhm.
exactly, because if you looked at that video, what it's speaking to is the tours. You know, nothing really is going to change about that specific zipline tour anytime soon unless a cable pops, which let's hope that that never happens. But nothing's really ever going to change about that. So there's no time on that. It's not a promotion that's lasting me just for a couple months. It's something like you said, Angela, can last for the entirety of the internet lifespan, you know? So it's worth it at the end of the day.
Yes. So I guess with that said, if anyone has any other questions, feel free to email Michael or email me or email Alicia so to get those answered. Also, be reminded about the different offers that we have. The one for Ask and Believe, the free consultation. We have the two other offers, which is to register for the next webinar and to contribute your blogs. With that said, I'm going to end the webinar for today. I hope everyone enjoyed it. Are there any last words from Alicia and Michael?
No, I just want to thank everyone for tuning in, and I look forward to next month webinar. Also, I want to thank you, Michael, for taking out the time this morning. It was a great, great presentation.
Thank you so much. And again, thanks to everybody, Believing and BHA, for having me. I really appreciate doing something like this, and I hope that everyone who participated in today's webinar learned something.
Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you.
Take care, everybody. Bye.
Bye.